Alright, so you're watching The Live Addiction with Steve-O, and today my guest is none other than the legendary guitar player, Mr. John Five. John is currently out on tour in support of his latest solo record, Careful with That Axe.
That's right. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm great. Good to see you, man. How do you have time to not only write and record this new album with all of the other stuff you've been doing?
Well, I don't really, to be honest, I don't really sleep that much, so it's a lot of work. There's a lot of hours in the day, so I take advantage of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, because there's so much going on. I mean, there's a Zombie live record coming out on Tuesday, doing these live shows, interviews, and we just finished up a new Zombie record, so there's a lot going on.
When's the new Zombie record coming out?
We don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's finished.
The focus right now is on the movie, right?
Yeah, he's filming the movie right now, or I think he's scouting for locations or something.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a very exciting time.
Okay. Now, were you riding like out on the road, like in the back of the bus, a little bit of both, like at home?
I would go to his place, and we would write there and record there, and it's just it's the best because it's such a great working atmosphere over at his place.
We're non-stop workmen.
Non-stop, but it's great. It's I really enjoy it. Whenever I have a guitar in my hands, I'm happy. So
you got to pinch yourself. What was one of those moments? I mean, I know you've been doing this for many, many years at this caliber. What was one of the first moments where you're like, oh my God, this is my life? Like, pinch me.
Well, I think the very first moment when I was like, oh wow, this is really odd, I think it was my very first gig with Katie Lang. We did this thing called the VH1 Fashion Music Awards, and I was playing, and in the front row was Prince, Madonna, Peter Gabriel, Chrissie Hynde, and they were all right in front. And I was like, this is so odd, It was just really a crazy thing. And it was all over the TV, all over VH1 too. So it's very, that was like the start of it, where I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then like every day is like, now it's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm psyched.
Yeah, I mean, the list of people that you've worked with is just incredible. And I mean, your name is of that caliber now too. So I mean, that's got to be pretty cool.
It's cool. I'm lucky to, have been doing what I've been doing, because I never really, was wishing for it or anything like that, because I just wanted to be a session musician. So this all just came about because, not that I didn't want it, but it just seemed like so far out of reach. It just didn't seem possible.
Yeah. Well, the new album's great. I mean, the musical stylings range from, you got like some country sounding stuff to some more kind of Spanish flamenco style, and then to some just badass metal. I think, is it Velisca? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
That one's just rad, dude. It's got some like sounds. It kind of reminds me of like Tom Morello-esque like DJ type sound. It's cool.
It's it's a wide array of music on there, just to keep the listener interested, because just hearing the same thing for a whole length of a CD can get tiresome. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you listen to like the G3 guys or whatever, a lot of this stuff, it's great, but it's just like, alright, but yours is like this roller coaster trip. It's cool.
It is. There's a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. So, and that's how the show is going to be as well.
I gotta ask, something that's always intrigued me as someone that's of your caliber of playing, like growing up, what was your practice work ethic like? What is it? Malcolm Gladwell's got the, if you work at something for 10,000 hours, you're like an expert.
Right.
What was your work ethic like?
Well, I think I was so obsessed with the guitar. I don't know why. It's like this, I was just so obsessed with it that I played so much when I was little. I mean, all the time. And I still do. That this part of my hand grew larger than this part. So this hand is bigger than this hand, because when I was younger I would just stretch to make those chords. So that's how much I played, and I just loved it. I just loved it, and I still love it. Just like I just love having a guitar in my hand.
And do you still find time to practice all day, every day, pretty much?
Absolutely, yeah. If I wasn't talking to you, I'd be playing guitar,
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So you were 7 or 8, I believe, and I think the thing that influenced you to play guitar was it the show Hee Haw? Is that what I read somewhere?
Yeah, which I was just watching today earlier, and great show. You know, we would just watch it. You know, it was such a popular show, but you know, my family would watch it, and there was this little kid on there, and he was really young. He had to be close to my age, and he was playing banjo, and I was just so blown away by it. And then I saw the guys up there playing the Telecasters, and I wanted to play electric guitar, and I just thought that was the only shape an electric guitar came in was a Telecaster. So I was like, I want to play that. So that's what really influenced me to play guitar. And you know what else? It's funny because have you ever seen the show?
I haven't. I mean, I'll admit it.
Watch it. You should watch it. Go on YouTube, watch it. But all the girls like have these big jugs, so it's like, and that's kind of influenced me too.
Okay.
So you'll like it. It's a great show.
That's what you have an affinity for.
That's right.
Well, now you're married, so
yeah, Telecasters and jugs.
There you go. Something I've always
good album title.
That's the next one, and now you've got your own Fender Telecaster signature series.
That's right.
And you've got all sorts of crazy guitars up there on stage. I think the latest one I saw, it lights up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited to see that. You got that with you?
Yes, I do. I have. Yeah, and then there's a lava one as well. So there's, it's a really cool show. There's a lot of things that are going to happen.
Okay. Well, like you, I consider myself to be like a movie buff, aka dork. As you can see, I've got some movie tattoos here. Something that's always interested me is like movie scores, and now you're scoring Rob Zombie's movies. What is the process behind that? I've always been intrigued by that.
Well, I was scoring movies, you know, when I was doing sessions, so I was doing that quite a bit. And then Rob said, you know, was nice enough to say, hey, why don't we work on Lords of Salem? And you know, I was very happy, and I was like, absolutely. And with this new movie, 31, I'm gonna score it with him. So he's gonna
do it too.
Yeah, so
awesome.
It's gonna be rad, you know. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
So what is the process in that? Do you get the film and it's just like, all right, watch it a bunch of times, and like, all right, what do I want to put here and there? And
yeah, luckily the director, which is Rob, will say he'll give me what needs to be done. So which is you know, perfect.
It's not just like, here you go, bring it back to me.
No, so I kind of just take direction, so it just works out really well that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, that movie was so creepy. I left the theater just like, I need a shower, and part of it was because of the score. That the Lord's theme, whenever they put the album on, that whole thing is just so creepy.
And that is done, everything on the Lord's theme, and a lot of that score is done organically, and we, like, you hear this boom, you know, and what we did is I hit this like wooden chair. It was like this hollow wooden chair, and it vibrated, and then
just with your hand.
Yeah, and we just pumped it up, you know, and then the theme of the movie, you know, I did it on my old J200 Gibson J200 with a violin bow.
Wow.
And then the creaking sound is this metal, like something you would like chop up medicine with, like back in the old days, and I would creak it against this like old metal that was laying around. So everything is completely organic. It's really cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
You got to be listening to Hertz in a weird mindset to do something like that too, just kind of in a dark place.
Absolutely, it's cool, you know, and I love that stuff, you know. I think it's important for film.
Another thing that's always interested me about you is you and Rob working with photographers. I myself am a professional photographer, and I aspire to go on the road one of these days. You've worked with Matt Wilson, who's designed one of your shirts.
Yep.
I actually have that shirt, and then I recently did a book with Rob Finn. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's great, you know, and he's with us all the time.
Yeah.
He just is, you know, I love that stuff. Like, you would see these tour books back in the day, like John or something, see the inside of his plane, or, you know, and I always was so interested in those kind of on-tour photos. And now we have one, so it's very cool.
That's cool. Any advice for like working with an artist, like from the musician, like as a photographer, like, hey, a do or a don't?
I would say just be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when you get the best pictures.
Yeah, I got the live stuff down. Just
Yeah.
the behind the scenes stuff. That'll be something new.
Just be a fly on the wall.
Cool.
That's the best thing to do.
Cool. The only other thing I want to ask, you see, I got a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
I always like to end an interview asking about a tattoo, like maybe a funny story behind one, a meaningful one, something that's recent.
You know, let's see. I don't know. A lot of my tattoos are like Japanese style, and
I think I've seen you got like a koi fish.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
here.
So I love, you know, I can see you love it too. You know, it's great. You know, and you got good skin for it. So
Yeah.
it's good.
That
Keep going.
fair white skin, right?
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for your time, John.
Thank
If
you.
you haven't picked it up yet, careful with that axe. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, man.
Cool.